Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, how you doing? Oh, hello.
Oh, from Waymo. As we get
Oh, this is crazy.
1 minute to cover a few riding tips. This experience may feel futuristic. You can also use the app.
Man, look, it's actually inching up to the light like it's a real person. I should know you would inch up to the light like a little bit, like trying to beat the person next to you. It's actually doing that. Look, it's inching up. That is crazy.
How is this safe? Even if you have full autopilot in a Tesla, you have to keep your hands on the wheel on occasion to keep it turned on because the full autopilot fails from time to time. So what happens when this fails and you're just sitting in the back seat with no control over a car that's headed for disaster? No thank you.
Okay, magnetic hill. Turn ignition off. Select neutral. Foot off brake.
And we're rolling.
And we're going backwards. Up a hill.
Faster, faster, faster.
That's just weird.
This one was shared by one of our Australian viewers over in the Discord server. I thought this was cool because there's a similar place in Tennessee where I grew up where you can experience this same phenomenon. There was a small bridge on a back road in my hometown growing up that you could park on in neutral and you would start rolling backwards uphill. I've always personally thought of it as a trick of the landscaping though. I personally think you're rolling downhill, but the landscape gives the appearance that you're rolling uphill.
The World Economic Forum recently came out with a suggestion that people should start sharing cars with their neighbors. Yeah, sharing a car with your neighbor.
If you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars in the street.
My neighbor won't even let me share a garbage can, nor should they. But the World Economic Forum might have already thought about that. There might be a plan where you don't even have to ask your neighbor if you could share their car.
You can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car.
You know, no offense to that lady, but taking somebody's car without them knowing, that's called theft. Yeah. You know, it's not really sharing unless both people know that you're doing the sharing. By the way, it looks like the World Economic Forum and the big man Klaus Schwab might just be getting sued for discrimination. Now, I don't think it would work just sharing a car with your neighbor. But then again, sharing can be fun.
Is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying.
I'm not so sure. It might be annoying if somebody just took your car without you knowing it. In the spirit of sharing, I just wanted to share that with all of you, Booskies. Shabadoo!
Alright, it's time to go to work, make a living, and support your family. But you're going to have to miss today and take a hit and pay because your neighbor got to your car before you did. This is probably the dumbest idea that I've heard coming out of the WEF in all of 2024, and they don't ever have any good ideas.
Woman in Manchester has caught 3 Deliveroo drivers eating her food and laughing about it, and she still hasn't got a refund. Check this out. I made a £50 Deliveroo order from Almost Famous in Manchester for myself and 2 colleagues. I got a notification at 12:54 PM saying that they tried to deliver it and tried ringing the intercom but just left it by the entrance of the office walk. 2 minutes later I walked down there and it wasn't there. I always see drivers hanging around outside Pret round the corner, so I thought I'd look there and saw a bunch of people outside eating our burgers. I knew it was the drivers because they had our food on the table and the exact same order number on the back. I took a picture of them and they just laughed in my face and said, well, we're still getting paid for it, and carried on eating. These are the Deliveroo drivers in question, and this is the customer's photo, and as you can see, all of their burgers are in their hands and the food is on the table. Here is the food in question. As you can see, this is a delivery bag and 696 on the order. absolute cheek of these delivery drivers to start eating her food and laughing in her face is genuinely wild. Since spoken to the Deliveroo customer, and she's contacted Deliveroo and the restaurant numerous times, and she still hasn't received a refund, and I don't know how that's possible. She's literally got evidence.
I assume that Deliveroo is similar to Uber Eats here in the US. I stopped using Uber Eats when I ordered ice cream from the Dollar General, and when I got the bag it smelled like cigarettes. That was all it took for me to realize how disgusting the idea of some stranger transporting your food is. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I'm making a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back to join me tomorrow.
I've got something to ask you and to warn you about. I don't usually do this sort of thing, but it's affected me personally. My daughter and my 2 grandchildren and her partner were out yesterday in a little tiny village just round the corner from our little farm. And they were just walking along. The kids were picking some wildflowers and whatever. And she got kind of separated because a telephone call came for her partner, and he took it, and he's just stood there for a minute talking, and a black Audi pulled up in front of her and blocking the way she was walking. And the driver got out, and she could see through the screen that there was a passenger and 3 other guys sat in the back. And he walked up to her, and he was very familiar with her and whatever, and chatting to her. And she said he was Eastern European, and it was a black Audi, 4-door Audi A6, and they kept looking at the children, and she had this terrible fear all of a sudden come over her, and she panicked, and she called out to Mick. He looked over and saw exactly what was happening, because the guys in the back and the passenger were getting out of the car to approach the children. They were going to kidnap my grandchildren. Well, that's what they assumed anyway. And as soon as Mick, her partner, saw it, he yelled and screamed at them to run. And he ran over, and as he ran over, because he was across the other side of the road, they all jumped in their car and squealed off, and tyres burning, everything. Beware, they're out there. There's 5 guys in an Audi A6, didn't get the number. It's been reported to the police. They said they can't do anything because they never actually touched the children. But
this is by far the most terrifying thing that could happen to a person. Having your child taken from you in broad daylight by a group of men numbered so large that you have no control over the situation, rendering you unable to make good on your fatherly duties of protecting your kids at all costs. I'm just glad to hear a story like this that ended well instead of how they usually end.
I just arrived back in the US after being overseas for over a year, and what I have to say is I already want to leave. I've been here for 72 hours, if that. There's homeless everywhere. Welcome to California. What the hell is going on in this damn country? It's absolutely insane. I have no idea what's changed. The last 3 years have been amazing overseas. I came back once. It was decent. The changes weren't that bad. And then this last time when I just came back after 1 year, it's been absolutely, it's bullshit. It's bullshit what's going on. There's homeless everywhere. There's drugs everywhere. What is going on in this damn country? It's like, welcome home. It's not even home. This place is done. Whoever's running this country and whoever's running this state needs to get out, because this is not what it was like 15, 20 years ago when I was growing up. This is absolutely insane. I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, I hope for the best, but like right here in front of me, there's 2 tweakers tweaking out. Like, what is going on in America? Seriously, what the hell is going on in this damn country? There's tweakers.
It's planned destruction, my man. That's what's going on in the United States. The federal government's trying to burn everything to the ground so they can rebuild in a way that gives them more control over the people. It's as simple as that.
We've been told that sunlight will give us cancer. You say that's absolutely not true.
No, there is no proof to that effect. In fact, it's the opposite. That lack of sunshine causes skin cancer. You may know that many people have skin cancers in areas that are never even exposed to the sun.
That's true.
And so it's not the sun. The UVB is now taken off the hook. It's no longer the culprit. There's a brand new study that just came out showed that UVB doesn't cause the cancer, it's the UVA. Now, when you use sunscreens, and there are many sunscreens that just block out UVB, so you don't tan, you basically you don't burn, so that you don't burn your skin. Skin burning is not a good idea. In any case, you don't want to burn your skin. So typically, if your body is in the sun too long, it will start burning. You would want to get out of it. Whereas if you put suntan lotion on, you don't get that signal. And you allow a lot of penetration of UVA. Now there are some of these other screens that are blocking out both UVA and UVB, and you think, oh, now I'm safe.
Right.
Yes, but you are becoming vitamin D deficient by being in the sun.
And if you are vitamin D?
Vitamin D deficient, your cancer risk goes right up.
Okay.
So again,
skin cancer,
any kind of cancer. So you need your vitamin D in order to be cancer free.
I don't know how true this is, and I'm 100% not somebody you should come to for medical advice. All I know is if I get trapped in the house for a bit and can't get outside for a few days to soak up some sunlight, I can tell a huge difference in my mood and my overall comfort level. I'm completely convinced that we need to be spending more time in the sun, not less.
Can you give me an example of a food that's a vaccine?
You recognize? Yes, sir. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human vaccines into our lettuce right now. Also tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley. And then Big Tobacco, RJ Reynolds and stuff has perfected the ability to put a human vaccine into tobacco products.
Chairman Clements? And is that even legal to do in the state of Tennessee, to sell those with a vaccine in them?
You recognize? Well, I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is there is no law deeming those that when you go into a grocery store, you should know as a consumer, this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could contain a vaccine in it. All we're saying is if it does have the vaccine in it, make sure it's listed as a pharmaceutical so people can get the proper dosage.
You recognize? Thank you. Well, my question is right now, can you walk into a grocery store and there be a head of lettuce for sale that has a vaccine in it? I don't think that's allowed under state law presently. And if it is, and you have to list it as a pharmaceutical, are we going to then have Walgreens pharmacists with a refrigerated section? I mean, how's this going to play out?
You recognize? Thank you. This is more of a consumer protection bill right here, is to make sure that if you...
And this is just one 1-minute clip from one hearing in one state. What other foods are they putting this crap into that we aren't aware of? I'm not making a claim here, but all of the videos of people buying fruits and vegetables that look like plastic or look like they have some sort of radiation exposure or something is starting to make a lot more sense after watching that clip.
Have you ever seen this video of the coroner's van that supposedly had Michael Jackson's body in it that didn't know it was being filmed? This guy thought he was going to capture them wheeling him out, and instead, he captured this. Now, I was very skeptical when I first saw this, so I had to do what I do, and I did my investigative work. 127602. Remember that number. So what I did is I went and I scoured the internet, and I found actual news footage of a helicopter filming the body of Michael Jackson going into a coroner's van. And you'll never guess what I found. Let's take a look at that number. Do we remember? 127602. And just in case your memory is not good, helicopter garage 127602. Now for me, this isn't enough to just automatically assume he's still alive, but when you keep digging, you'll see. This guy's name is Dave, and he's supposedly even a friend of Michael Jackson's. And have you ever heard him speak?
And there were all these Paul McCartney records all over this, The Girl Is Mine, and, you know, this and that. 13 solo albums, solo appearances on TV shows. And there were all these Paul McCartney records. Of course, you always feel things. I don't see Marlon next to me. I don't feel...
And is this next clip just them putting the truth right in plain sight?
I felt like he had, like, Michael Jackson's spirit in him. because there were times that he even sounded like him talking, and it would just kind of blow my mind.
And you may not realize it, but he wasn't just the king of pop, but the master of disguise.
Michael Jackson was not just the king of music. Michael, who also had a talent for disguises, was also the king in this regard. The master of disguise.
Like I said, I'm just showing you some evidence. You make your own decision. But before you make your final one, why don't you listen to what the surrogate mother to Michael Jackson's children also had to say.
In that time, they've gone on some very unusual outings, often with Michael in disguise.
Yeah, he'd call, what are you doing? I know what you're doing. I know the video. Yeah. You know, I'd sneak out without security. I got caught. I said, oh my God, this is like a Beatles film. We're getting chased by people. We'd have to call security, bail us out. But yeah, we'd go out and do stuff.
Maybe Michael, like she said, just got sick of being chased around like he was the Beatles. And before I end this, I have a confession to make. I wouldn't listen to this man's music for 10 years in my car. I would turn it off immediately if it came on, because I was mind controlled by the TV. I watched one thing and I just assumed that this guy was an evil, disgusting man that did things with kids that I don't approve of. And what I realized once I woke up is that the TV controls your mind in more ways than you could ever imagine. I don't know what he really is or where he really is, but I have my thoughts and my ideas. But my biggest thought and idea is I just want you to know this is all for entertainment purposes. Of course, Michael died of a tragic drug overdose and he's no longer with us. God rest his soul. Entertainment purposes only.
I'm not going to give my opinion on this one because I'm still on the fence about it, but as much suspicious evidence as this video gives us, I've actually seen much more compelling evidence to back up this theory. This one certainly seems like it could be true when you start digging into it even just a little bit.
Akan menunjukkan bahwasanya saya sedang sedih. Sad.
Woman, age 560 to 565, facial expression, angry. Time to run. I thought this was interesting because the idea that these cameras are picking up frequencies that are naked to the human eye and allowing the AI to see something we can't. Whew.
What if everything we thought we knew about flat Earth was only a fraction of the truth? 1/4 of the truth, to be exact. First, have you seen the moon map projection where they take the moon and map out the dark spots on it, and they'll show that 1/4 is our known Earth, our known flat Earth model. Now, we've all seen the clock in Prague, but I want to point something out. You notice the constellation ring here, and the sun and the moon are actually connected right here in the center, showing that the sun and moon go around this constellation wheel. And some say that this constellation wheel might slowly but surely, over maybe thousands of years, move around this bigger circle. Now here's where it gets really interesting. If that's the case, and the sun's trajectory is warming this land, but then also moving through 4/4, right? Then that would mean that this area of ice would be melting and the rest would be freezing. So when I ask Google where Antarctica's ice caps are melting, it's the western area of Antarctica. When I asked where they are constantly freezing, they said the eastern region. Where is the eastern region? Everywhere else in Antarctica. Believe it or not, this is how Antarctica is divided. So where is this western region on the flat Earth map? Well, let's just say if this were moving around in a circle, this little part would be the one melting, and the rest would be freezing. So then I was looking at the Mercator map, and none of these regions look familiar. But it is weird how they all are in 4 quarters. A clock is sectioned in 4 quarters. Several cosmological and mythological systems portray 4 corners or 4 quarters. In the Book of Enoch, he talks about the 4 quarters. And several verses talk about the 4 quarters. Then you look at the definition of quarter, and one is each 4 equal or corresponding parts into which something is or can be divided, right? Then another definition is the place in which you can dwell, a specific place. Here's what's nuts though. So this is a quarter, as in 1/4 of the whole area, but then it's also a quarter, the place in which we can dwell. What? So with this generalized idea, what else does it explain? Well, it explains lands beyond the ice wall, extra lands. Maybe not this or this, but maybe it's this they're trying to deflect us from. Also, global warming. A lot of people want you to think that the world is getting sicker, and then you've got your conspiracy guys who say it's just a big old money grab, global warming. But what if it's just the natural cycle of our reality? Every so 1,000 years, this moves into another quarter, causing an ice age? Yeah, it would explain ice ages. Because, I mean, if we're being real, there have been some pretty neat discoveries made of animals in ice, undigested food in their stomachs. It would kind of explain mud floods. Hey, they found old world pyramids and buildings in ice. It seems we're always given partial truths on things. Now, I'm not saying that this theory is one that I believe or disbelieve, but it's interesting nonetheless. Look into it.
I found this theory absolutely fascinating. Is it true? How would I know? But the idea behind it makes so much sense and explains so many weird anomalies like the reflection of the Earth on the moon and why the parts of the planet that are frozen over show signs of once being a lush landscape that would have rivaled our modern day rainforests. I think this is the most fun and interesting theory I've heard in a long time.
You just open this banana. Here, look, you can see it's still green. And it's really weird. Something's wrong with it. I'm gonna open it all the way and see. Oh, that's hard. And whatever this is in the middle is crunchy. Only you can see it here. So I'll open it. Oh my god, it's hard. Holy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look.
Ew.
I don't know.
What the hell?
Here, let me try and open it all the way. It tastes really strange, like it was. I don't know. There's like a weird bitter, so it's not. Oh, it could be like a worm, but no. Look at that. And this is like a green. Here, let me bring the bunch over.
Healthy banana.
This is the bunch that came off of.
Brand is that?
Let me show it. I don't know if you can say it.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. So
got it.
That's what we got.
Wow. What are they doing to our food? Look at that. I'm doing something.
The most frustrating part of that video is that she didn't open one of the other bananas off the bunch and see if they were the same way. That would have been my first move. But the main reason I threw this in was it actually showed what brand they had bought. Someone needs to start making a list of all these bad foods and publish it so people know not to buy this garbage.
Yep, terrifying chemicals are being forced into your ice cream. Now sold all around the world, and the FDA won't do anything about it. People were terrified after one woman put her Nestle drumstick ice cream overnight for 24 hours and was horrified to see it had not melted at all. And we're all eating this.
Like, it hasn't melted like regular ice cream, so like it did get soft, but it definitely didn't melt.
With other videos from Walmart's ice cream being left on the counter and after 24 hours still maintaining the exact same shape like it was just taken out of the fridge, with many shocked to see the haunting words on boxes labeling them as frozen desserts now. Mass people have now been throwing out their ice cream in fear of what diseases they could get due to the potential horrifying preservatives forced into it. After several viral videos, Drumsticks has come out to issue a statement saying they use a mixture of thickeners and stabilizers standard to the industry to hold the shape and slow down the melting process, and says this is not harmful to eat.
Another one thrown in because of the brand being on display. Don't be buying all this stuff. If we stop buying these genetically altered food products, then they'll stop making it. They're only doing this because they're getting away with it and people are still purchasing this stuff. I think it needs to be taken a step further and we need to start boycotting any of these grocery store chains that carry this garbage. They don't care about the health and well-being of their shoppers, then they don't deserve their shoppers. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope that you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out www.barry-step.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat and help me support the channel. I greatly appreciate anyone who's done so far. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.